Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Best Damn Avril Show, the number one Avril Lavigne community show on the internet. It's also the only one as far as I know, but hey, it still counts. I'm your host, Neil, and with me today, as always, is my co-host, Marliz. What's up, Marliz?
Hello.
And today we have a special guest, the award-winning super moderator of the Avril BandAids forums, In Wonderland.
Hello.
We're probably going to call you Karen for most of the time on this episode, just because that's what we're used to calling you, and it's also easier to say. But yeah, just wanted to let people know that. And I just wanted to say before we get on with the show that we're trying to release the show every 2 weeks and on Saturdays. I know it's kind of a weird day, but I feel like it's the most convenient day for everyone. So just wanted to let you guys know. And with all that being said, let's get on with the show. All right, Karen, so tell us a bit about yourself and how you got into Avril.
Well, I'm Karen. I'm from Norway, and I'm soon to be 20. I've been on BandAids for about 5 years now. And I got into Avril because my big sister had the album, The Best Damn Thing, playing along all the time. So I got to hear that, and I also fell in love with Keep Holding On in 2006. So that's the short story of it.
Short story. And what's the long story?
Oh no, I'm not going to go into that. My sisters love all the fan fictions involving Harry Potter, Narnia, Aragon, and therefore Avril was involved because Keep Holding On was on the soundtrack, and we was on the cinema, and it started playing on the rolling out, the end, and I went home and googled the song and got to know Avril Lavigne.
Wait, so you did that in 2006?
Yes, when it came out in the Aragon movie.
Wait, so how old were you, like 8?
Yes. I've been a fan since I was a kid.
Man, kids using Google at 8, that's crazy. Google
You're
wasn't even
so
around when I was 8 years
judgmental,
old.
Well, I'm low to use Google. I'm the computer person in the family, and thanks to Google.
Alright, so real quick though, just so people get a sense of your taste, like, what's your favorite Avril album and song?
At the moment, it's The Best Damn Thing. I never thought I would say that, but it's The Best Damn Thing at the moment because it's fun, upbeat, and fitting the season. It's summer, it's fun, so... And I always load Alone, which is the B-side of the album.
Oh yeah.
So it's my favorite track at the moment. It's Alone.
But
All right,
The Best Damn Thing made you a fan, right?
Yes.
So why did you say, like, that you would never think The Best Damn Thing is your favorite album?
I was quite disappointed when it was released. I then had a few months to get into Let Go and Under My Skin, and I realized I could have known the whole lyric to Skater Boy before I even know about Avril. So, so when The Best Damn Thing came around, it was a shock. It was the pink bubble gum. It was like the opposite of what Avril was, and suddenly,
Yeah, that's true.
Alright, so let's get to the good stuff though, and I think I know the answer to this already, which is why I'm asking you this actually. What's your least favorite Avril album?
at the moment it's Under My Skin. It's become too dark for me. It was one of my favorites, but now it's like I barely listen to it, and it stands on the shelf, literally. So
Yeah, we'll hire you some security so you don't get killed after this episode, but
Haters.
yeah.
Yeah. And how did you find BandAids? Like, how did you find
again, Google. It was just randomly searching for Avril related articles, and it showed up. And it was like, I remember you said in the first episode that we were more or less made to sign up because it was restricted 5 posts per day thingy. So I signed up with an account I won't mention, but already in 2010. But Yeah, so I accidentally bumped into BandAids on Google.
All right. So, Karen, obviously your name is In Wonderland, referencing Alice in Wonderland. So, like, how cool was it for you that the two things you loved most, Alice in Wonderland and Avril Lavigne, kind of joined forces to make like a unique song? Like, what was that like for you at the time?
Well, I was in 8th or 9th grade, so it was like, wow, it was maybe the best coincidence that happened that year for me, and was a reason to pull my sisters to the cinema, which didn't like the movie, but I wanted to see and hear Avril's song in a cinema again, since that was the first time I kind of met Avril. So yeah, no, it was quite fun to have a song dedicated to the universe I grew up with.
So, what did you actually think of the song when you finally heard it?
Well, I don't remember exactly how I felt because it's 7 years ago, isn't it? Yeah, but anyways.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I just remember it was on my playlist, like I had 14 In Wonderland songs in a row in the same playlist, and it went playing all day long, all night long, all the time. So yeah, I loved it back then, and I still love it, but not as much.
Yeah, it's
Not
quite
much.
different though.
Yes, it's a different song than what we're used to with Avril, and she kind of shows off her voice more in the song and show what she's capable of.
Did you end up liking the movie, or?
Yeah, I love the movie. That's obvious, but yeah, I read the books, I've seen the movies, I've seen a play, I like everything with Alice in it for a weird reason or another. So.
And do you think the song will be better or worse than the Charming song that is apparently coming out someday?
Well, we heard 10-second snippet or something of Charming, and
Wait, did we?
yes, it was.
Was Avril in that? Because I don't remember hearing her voice.
I think she was in it because it was 3 layered voices, so I think it was actually Avril and Gemmel together. So. But no, I think Alice is a better song than Trophy Boy. So, without hearing Trophy Boy.
Yeah, I was about to say, based on those 10 seconds, yeah.
Based on the 10 seconds,
yeah.
Yes. But Patrick Strump is the writer of the song, and he's a much better writer than Avril, so, in my opinion. But,
wait, for the Charming song?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So. That can be exciting to finally hear the full version whenever they decide to release it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's allegedly coming out next year, but like...
that was last year too. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, who knows?
Are you gonna watch it both? The movie?
I guess I'm gonna watch it. It's kinda... You have to, but...
Because I haven't seen... Alice in Wonderland, actually.
No.
I would be a bad fan.
No,
yes.
Not necessarily. Because Avril isn't in Alice in Wonderland. It's
that's
the
true.
soundtrack. It's just by the end of the movie.
Have they actually shown how she sounds like in the movie? Because I feel like they skip her a lot. Like, I don't even know. I haven't heard her voice, really, from the trailer
I think the
saw.
only thing they showed of the princesses, except the Demi Lovato character, was their scream. So... It's yet to come.
Yeah.
The trailer was taken down because it obviously wasn't released officially yet. So,
okay.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask you about BA, we're kind of out of order here, but so I mean,
BA means BandAids.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you say?
Yeah. BA means BandAid. It's just something I say because it's easier and I'm lazy. But so a lot of people might not know this, but you do a lot of stuff behind the scenes for the site. I mean, you make a lot of the graphics on the site. You help manage the events on BandAids. You manage the signature of the week, which we'll talk about later. So my question is, why? No, it's actually what does the BandAids community mean to you? And just, I guess, being a part of the Avril community as a whole, what does all that mean to you? And why do you feel like you want to participate so much?
Well, for me, I I have been more or less bedlocked for the past 7 years of my life. So to be able to be a part of a community from bed has meant a lot. And I started off as a person who never posted anything at all, just lurking around the forum. And eventually I started posting more and more. And I
When
got
was
into
that?
around 2012, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I have been 2 years with a secret account, and I made the In Wonderland account when I started posting, because I don't know, it was just a reason there and then made sense. And then I one day saw the application for a media team member in 2013, late 2013, and I just applied. And I got picked out, and I started working on the gallery, uploading hundreds of photos, because it was still photos of Avril that needed to be uploaded. And it was a nightmare, and I understand why no one of you,
I remember
the staff at the time, didn't want to post and upload the photos in the gallery, because it took forever, and you had to take one file to get to upload it, and it was awful.
It was a mess.
Yeah, and then I just continued for the gallery. It went down, but I had then gotten access to BandAids media team on Twitter, which now is BandAids News, where I continued to post a photo of the week to keep it alive when nobody knew what was going on with BandAids. So but just the part to be able to bring something to the community and make sure it's alive means a lot to me as a person, because it's the place where I have someone to talk to, simply.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a great answer. That's
But that reminds me though, like when you talk about the gallery, like if we still had a gallery, there's not really much photos of Avril recently that would actually be uploaded there, right? Because like you used to get so much like candid photos, that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
But we never see those anymore, and it's kind of sad.
Hey man, she has a lot of Abby Dawn pictures you might like.
Yeah, well, occasionally Instagram posts that comes out.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
used to love
kind of
those.
sad. Because it was like something when she suddenly got a new paparazzo picture, and you kind of was like, I don't know, but we got excited about it.
Yeah.
And we talked about every single thing in that photo.
Does she have a new tattoo? Does she have this? Is she pregnant? No.
Yeah. So no, it was something to talk about instead of analyzing every single bit of every album, every song, every photo shoot, every article she's been having out there. And with the candid photos that came out every now and then, it was something to talk about, something new.
Yeah, I miss that.
Yeah, some might say that Avril was more active back then, but she disappeared since then. That leads us to our next topic. How do you like that transition?
Such transition, man. Nice.
No, that was actually an awesome answer, Karen. But our main topic for this episode, or one of them anyway, is kind of surrounding Avril's absence lately, and how we feel about that, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or even if she's been absent at all. Some might argue that she hasn't been that absent. And so before we kind of give our thoughts, I'll just give a rundown of the timeline as I saw it on Twitter, because that's the social media platform I use. I'm sure it's similar on Instagram. But I'm going to go over her Twitter posts kind of surrounding AL6, just to give you guys a sense of, how active she's been in terms of like announcing things. So I'm going to start off with a post she made in December 22nd, where she wrote that note to Mark Zuckerberg when he kind of made that cheap shot at Nickelback. This isn't really AL6 related, but I feel this is the unofficial marker of her kind of coming out of hiding a bit and kind of becoming mainstream again. And a few days later, on Christmas Day, she announces that she's working on a new album and it's coming out in 2017. And then a few days later, on New Year's Day, she teases a song with the chorus "I'm a Warrior." We kind of went over that last week. Awesome lyrics. Then January 13th, kind of a lot of things happened. She promoted the song "Listen" from One OK Rock, which she was featured on. Not AO6 related, but again, it just kind of put her out there again. And she also promoted, or teased rather, a song title or lyrics labeled "Crushed," which we actually didn't go over last week, but that was another thing she teased. And also "Warrior" again. And then on the 24th of January, that's when she teased the "I won't bow, I won't break" lyrics, and then did the hashtag "Warrior." So that's why I think "Warrior" would be a single, because Warrior seems to be like a recurring hashtag. And then on February 4th, she teased the lyrics "You make me loose control." She used 2 O's in loose, which I thought was kind of funny. And hashtag "Crush." So I don't know if that's a song or whatever.
Yeah.
February 16th, that's when she teased "Black and White." We're not sure if that's lyrics or the album name or a song title. And on March 1st, this is pretty big news. She announced that she signed with BMG. We went over that a little bit last episode. And then finally on May 16th, so that's...
There's a big gap.
Yeah, a month and a half later. Or no, more than that. 2.5 months later. She announces that she's beginning production on the album this week. And that's actually been pretty much it for the most part, unless you're like a huge Abby Dawn fan. And there's a lot there for you on her Twitter account, but that's pretty much it.
I think she did mention some more times where she's like in the studio and stuff, right?
Yeah, but those, like, as member of the year winner, Slipper Slip said, it's kind of an excuse for her to advertise her Abby Dawn things more, because you'll notice, like, a few days ago she tweeted that she's taking a few days off, but really all it was an Abby Dawn.
Yeah.
But it was the guitar pictures and the writing block where she was wearing just a Nike t-shirt or what it was.
Yeah, that's true. She just kind of gives updates like, I'm in the studio or I'm taking a break, like little things like that. But it's like it's nothing major.
We want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with all that being said, so Karen, we'll start with you since this was your idea. So how do you feel about this?
Well, I'm doubled about it because I kind of know how she feels, and I never thought she would come back so quickly as she has, basically, because she has come back when she started working on new music, and I thought she was going to be bedridden for a lot longer than she was. So I'm quite happy that she's working on new music and she's still there and she hasn't given up, and there will come a new album sooner or later. But at the same time, I'm an eager fan. I want the album today, if possible. And so the absence in social media is the only way we get to communicate with her somewhat or get new pictures or anything. Like we said earlier with the candid pictures, we had something to talk about. But now we have the same Abby Dawn picture taken most likely on the same day that she spends the next 2 or 3 months uploading 4 or 5 pictures at most. So there's not so much to talk about. And the post you just mentioned, it was like 7 or 8 posts that we gotten since
Christmas a year.
Yeah. And when you get into it, and her BMG announcement with what will come in the coming weeks, and nothing has come in those weeks between March and now. So that absence is kind of, she is absent in a way that she isn't giving her fan base, which is her reason to be out there, basically. Anything to go on. If you had just posted a photo of the microphone, it was the lamest picture ever, but it was much better to look at than the Abby Dawn pictures.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives us something to imagine what she's singing about, what she's doing in the studio. But then again, it's Avril. She's been on Twitter since 2010. And her first tweet was "Yo,"
I love that. No, that's awesome.
I love that as well.
It's like, yeah, she hasn't been on social media so much, even though she's been there for 7 years. It's been mostly awkward in between studio talk, and other than that, it's been promotion for whatever she's doing at the moment.
Yeah, we should also say that like a lot of these tweets probably aren't coming from her directly. They're probably just from her social media team. So
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't really excuse her because I feel like you're still responsible for what your account, like what comes out of your account. Yeah. So like maybe she should hire better social media people, but
I don't think she has a say in that though.
No, but I think they try to reflect the person they are hired to work as, because they are promoting Avril Lavigne, and she's not appeared to me as a social media girl from she was young. She's been like quite the awkward aunt, I would describe her as.
Yeah, that's what we love about her, but yeah.
Yeah, but she always mentioned that she's a really private person, right? So,
and she's always been so secretive about what she's been doing. We have heard about her brother and sister, but it's just the later years we really got to know Michelle in any kind of way. So she's been quite secretive about her family, about her own life. It's just that's what we have the paparazzi pictures for.
Yeah, exactly.
To see her and see what she did outside of her home, because that's what we got to see with the green uses and etc.
Yeah, now we don't get them anymore. Oh. It's almost like she doesn't really do anything anymore. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, so I mean, you say that you thought you'd be bedridden longer for the Lyme disease. I mean, do you know how long it usually takes to recover from?
Well, I have a friend which has had Lyme disease, and he was bedridden for 6 months, so he was quite lucky. But he still has so strong symptoms that he has to slow down everything in his own life, and he has to lay down and rest every now and then. And myself, I can be up for an hour and a half maximum with my own disease before I have to go rest. So I kind of feel like the people I know, and from my own experience, that she could have had a lot worse with her health, that she could have been bedridden for another year, but in a couple more years she could end up paralyzed, which sometimes this tick bite do. So it's scary, and therefore I'm proud that she managed to find something that works with her, because there is no known cure or medicine or anything towards Lyme. So that she managed to find something that have given her some sort of strength, to put it that way, without offending anyone that's suffering the same way. Because it's, for me, it's what can I say? I can look up to her even more and feel like she's an inspiration to that things can get better, even when you are blessed with a freaking disease, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. I also think a lot of people kind of take it for granted that she's back again and don't really realize how extreme, like, what's the word, the disease is, how bad it actually can be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're pretty lucky that she got over it that quickly. Well, I don't think she's fully cured yet, but...
No, you will never be fully cured unless they find something new or so that will cure the disease. And the same with me, it's still scientifically experimenting with all sorts of freaking medicine and pills and antibiotics and whatnot. And when she then came out, was it April 1st, 2015, she announced it, after being then sick for the whole of 2014. Yeah. So that she then already, at the time, kind of said she would release an album. I kind of was a little positively surprised that she would be able to continue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I know in a recent interview, they were interviewing Chad about the Nickelback's new album, and obviously they asked him about Avril a lot, and he said she still wasn't fully recovered from the Lyme, and she's like,
When did he say that?
I think it was like a month ago,
Oh, okay.
or like around the time that the album was coming out, the Nickelback one. Yeah, so it's still like an ongoing thing. It's not like one of those things that just heals up, and then like everything is the same again.
No, likely she will have to slow down, and she will never be completely cured ever, because it's like a scar in your health. It's always going to affect you or tire you down. In its worst part is kind of the pain you get used to, in my opinion. But it's the fatigue that you never have the energy to go out and do what you want. Sit in a room full of people. I can't do that myself, so therefore our internet forum is quite good, where you can decide how long you will sit on the forum. And I think Avril also will have to slow down on her touring, on her promoting, on her interviews, on everything that is her career.
Yeah. That's what I just thought about, like, how is she gonna do that? Maybe the tour is gonna be really small again.
Yeah, no, I know what Marliz was thinking. Like, damn, she's not gonna go. Yeah. Again.
No.
And we all want her to come to Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Marliz and I.
Yeah.
So,
but she can figure it out.
So what I wanted to get at though is that, like, when I was mentioning the different dates on the timeline, a lot of them, or most of them, came from like January and February, and then it kind of stopped after that. So it seemed like she had a plan at first to like tease lyrics and song titles, and then it just kind of stopped after a while.
Yeah.
Like, do you think it's because maybe she was having issues and maybe the album got delayed a little bit, or is it just because she got so busy with like the production aspects of the album that she just kind of stopped?
Well, I don't know, because it stopped at the same time as the BMG announcement, so I don't know if it was something behind the curtain of that, or if she had a setback in her health, and it could have been anything really, and it can have been that she was ready to release already now in the summer, but who knows, because she doesn't share anything with us, and the things we want to know is how she's doing, how she's feeling, how ready she is to give us new music. So that's the absence. She has a reason to be absent from social media, but we would like to know how she's feeling, how much she can and can't do in comparison to how high our expectation as her fans is, because we have high expectations. And
well, honestly, I think at the time, because what for me is weird, she teased lyrics in, what was it, February, right?
Yeah.
With all the Warrior stuff. So I think at the time there were plans that it was going to be released soon, because why else would you tease lyrics so early and then not hear from you like for months? So that's kind of weird to me. I think just somewhere it got delayed again, or maybe in her health it's like a setback. So I don't know.
Right. And I mean, another hint, I meant to actually talk about this earlier, but my transition was too good, so I skipped it. But there's supposed to be a news segment where we talked about how on Instagram she announced on Wednesday night that she was collaborating with BandAids, actually, which is kind of interesting, that she's going to do like a series of throwback posts. Do you think this is related to maybe her hype plans for AL6, or does it just mean like, oh, it's not coming out for a while, so we're just going to do this to hold the fans over in the meantime while I'm still working on the album?
Well, that's exactly the thoughts I had, because I don't know anything either, and I think it's a way to connect with the fans, and I don't know if she's building up hype with all the throwbacks and memory lane and so back, but I think it's just something to keep connected, because we keep complaining all the time that we want something new, we want to hear from her, no matter if it's old posts or if she retweets or if she posts something from the studio. We just want something, and I think this is her way of giving back to us. and more details on how, why, and this project came up, I don't know. We don't have more info about it because it's a few people who are doing it, and not all staff is involved.
Yeah, so we're not completely sure on the details, which is why we haven't talked about it much. But hopefully next episode we'll have more information, and if we do, we'll talk about it more then. But
yeah,
I think it's just a way to interact with fans, like you said.
Keep us
because if it was a hype for the album, it's kind of weird because you usually don't really look in the past when you're trying to promoting an album, right? So
nostalgia is really big these days.
That would be really weird.
But I think it kind of can be related to the Grammys when she posted a throwback to her 2003 performance, and to the Junos when she also posted as a throwback picture of herself. So I think it kind of can be in that direction. Then she's just keeping photos that fit the time and events that happening around the world that she's been attending over the years, and it's a way to just keep the wait a little longer when she's finishing up whatever she's finishing up, because we don't know if she's started writing again or if she's done with production or whatever she's doing, because we don't know.
I mean, you guys know more about the music industry than I do. Like, how long does it take to produce an album, typically?
Like, you have some artists that just lock themselves up in the studio for 3 months and then finish an album just like that. And you have artists that just write when they're inspired and just take years, maybe even. So it really depends.
Yeah, and the Skin was well written in about 10 months and produced and mixed and finished up. But we know that Avril used her time quite well when it comes out, and she likes to write and think about the songs and try out new vibes and sounds and keep her creativity going. And how long that takes, it takes how long. It's like she likes to take her time and make sure that this album represents her, no matter how we as fans take it. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so I mean, since you said production started in May, like mid-May, like does that mean it could still come out this year, or?
Yes, it could possibly come out this year, but it's like we have this discussion on BandAids daily. It's like it's July, can it come out? It's almost the end of the year, 7 months of 12, and the album can come out in August, it can come out in September, October, November, December. So it's still 5 months left of the year. But if it will, that depends on Avril and the label.
Yeah, it also depends on what BMG wants, because I remember for Nickelback they said, okay, either release this now or we can't promote your album because we're promoting other stuff. So that might also come into play. Though Avril is their biggest artist right now, I think, so maybe she has more say, and they'll probably just do whatever she wants. So who knows?
I don't know, because they have quite many big artists, in my opinion, that have charted higher than Avril lately and have a bigger fan base.
Well, we'll get into that in our next topic, but yeah.
But it's quite obvious that something is holding her back. That if it's a deadline she didn't reach, or if she has a window of opportunity to release between September and October, I don't know. But it seems obvious that BMG has their own way of releasing albums, that they focus on a couple of artists at a time and then they move on to the other artists. It's looked like that way.
It's always the label. I always blame the label.
We like to blame the label.
We praise the artist when it's good and blame the label when it's
blame the label.
That's how it works. All right,
it's true though. Everyone hasn't had the greatest labels, so.
All right, so Marliz, real quick though, since we have to move on to the next topic, how do you feel about her absence?
How do I feel about her?
Yeah.
Well, I don't really notice it that much, though, because I know when 2 years or like a couple of years ago, I would really mind it, but now I don't really only follow Avril just fellow other artists as well, so I don't really mind, you know. But I actually think it's not that bad because she started posting more on Instagram lately and Instagram stories, right? So she actually shows like what she's doing in her private life, which I think is good, and she didn't really do that before. So I honestly think it's not that bad at the moment.
Okay.
But it was when she was only promoting Abidon. That was not that great.
Yeah, as for me, I'm kind of in a similar boat. Like, obviously, I'd want it sooner than later, but like, I can wait. You know, like I follow video games, and a lot of the times for the bigger games, they'll announce the game, be like, "All right, see you in 3 years." Like, it's gonna come out like in 2020. So I'm kind of used to waiting. And like you said, I have other music I listen to. Like, so it's not that bad for me. But I think what I want from Avril, kind of what Karen was saying, was just more insight on how she's feeling. And I just want more of that personal connection to her, because I think, like, when I have more of a personal connection to an artist, that makes listening to their music and watching their videos more meaningful for me. It's like, oh, this is that person I know on Twitter and YouTube. Like, this is my one Paramore mention per episode, but, like, I get that sense from them a little bit better. Like, I see their Twitter account is pretty good, so when I see their music videos, it's more exciting for me because I know a little bit more about them and like their thought process while they're making the album and things like that. So I kind of want that from Avril.
I actually just watched the making of the Best Damn Thing yesterday again, you know, and she didn't do that with her self-titled album, so I actually wonder if she's gonna make a video of this album with the whole makeup, because that I always find it really interesting. So if she does that, then everything is made up for it, like her whole absence. So that would be awesome, actually. Yeah,
that's actually how I wanted to end the segment, by asking you guys this, because like the day you wake up and realize that she announced her new single and her album release date and the album title, will any of this absence stuff matter to you anymore? Will you ever think about this again?
I think it's depending on how good it is, because that's what happened with the self-titled, and that's why it feels so much longer than it is, this wait, because we was kind of let down with AO, and so it feels like it's more like it's 6 years ago since she released her last album. So yeah, I think if she released something and we are really into it, I will forgive her. And I will forget it like everything else in life. It's not the most important thing. So if she release something, even if it's like Girlfriend or if it's like Wish You Were Here or whatever, it's like, I think she will be forgiven.
Yeah. Well, forgiven. It's not like, do you actually blame her though for being like inactive?
I blame her not for interacting so much with fans like you see other artists and bands do.
Yeah.
But I don't blame her as a person. I blame her as a working person that actually take
as an artist
our money and our support to have a living, even though she's many ads and deals and some behind the scenes.
Yes, she does.
But it's the music we are here for.
Yeah,
we are not bothering if she's advertising for a Slim Fit or whatever it was called. And,
like we're gonna have a separate social media topic episode someday, but I just want to say I don't have any problem with her advertising things. It's like, okay, if you can get money, go ahead. Like when Beyonce signed that like $50 million Pepsi like deal like years ago, it's like yeah, good for you. But it's like there's really a balance. Like there's too many ads in my opinion. Like the ratio is off, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly the ratio.
I just scroll past those posts and move on to something else. So, but no, I don't blame her. But I wish she would be more active. I wish she would share more, and therefore I kind of have this way of kind of putting her out there as the one that's holding back from us, even though she's a private person and I'm a shy person, and I really didn't even want to do this interview because I never show my face and my work. So I don't blame her, but you get the drift.
Right. All right, cool. Yeah, let's move on to the next topic, though. I mean, do you guys think the album could be as big as her first 3 albums? And I mean, this leads to a kind of a bigger question. How relevant is Avril in 2017? Do you guys think? We'll start with
I
Karen.
think she's kind of like this nostalgia person that many of our generation and older know about and knew about, and kind of if they knew her from Let Go, Under My Skin, The Best Damn Thing, even Goodbye Lullaby at the time, I think she will be as relevant as she managed to become again, because it's up to her how much she wants to appear, and maybe she wants to keep herself a little more hidden, if you get what I mean, because of her health. And I think if she wants to be out there again, she has the audience to do so, because there's many there who are gonna be like, oh yeah, it's like Backstreet Boys, the tour she was being on, and you saw the crowd when Avril went on. That's the many that love the nostalgia with her and remember how it was back in the day.
Yeah.
So it's what she makes it up to. So how she wants to be popular again or not.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Marliz?
Well, it's also all about the promotion. So I can't really say if she's going to be relevant again or popular again. And like I said last time, it's also about the music. So yeah, I really can't say, honestly.
For me, I've always part of the reason why I joined BandAids and wanted to do shows like this is because I've always been really curious of what is an Avril fan in 2017? Like, who are they really? Like, because it's kind of hard to figure out. So, and it's been interesting because like a lot of kids, not kids, but like maybe like people under 20 don't know Avril that well. They might know Complicated, but not Avril. So it's been kind of interesting for me to see. And it's also interesting because she seems to be really popular on some platforms, but not others. Like on Twitter, she has 21 million followers, which is crazy. Like that makes her one of the most followed people on Twitter, I think. Like in the top 100, I think. Maybe even more than that, like maybe top 50. So she's really big on Twitter. Her videos do pretty well on YouTube, though obviously not like Drake level, or I don't know.
You mean music videos or her personal videos?
Like her music videos. Like her music videos do pretty well for her, I think. But she doesn't do that well on Spotify, from what I've seen. Like her numbers, like they're pretty low in my opinion for someone who is that popular. So like I've always been kind of curious, like how popular she actually is these days.
Yeah, well, I guess we're gonna have to find out when the album is released, right?
Yeah, because I know like Avril fans hated when this happened, but like a couple months ago when that whole Melissa like rumored death thing happened, like that actually blew up in a big way. Like a lot of people were talking about Avril again, and that wouldn't happen to someone like, let's say, Kelly Clarkson, who was probably as popular as her like at their peak in terms of radio hits. But like if Kelly Clarkson was rumored dead and replaced, like I don't think that many people would talk about her, right? Like
yeah, that's true. Like I did see a lot of popular news sites like MTV, not really news site, but like people posting about it on Facebook. So I do think she's not as forgotten as we all think, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like Karen said, like everyone knows Complicated and Skater Boy and Girlfriend.
Yeah.
So like when people bring up Avril, like, oh yeah, that's right, Avril. Like maybe I don't listen to her music anymore, but like I still remember.
They know who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think another element that could be interesting is that like since The Best Damn Thing, I think the whole pop rock genre has really declined. Like you don't really hear that kind of music on the radio anymore. It's more like electronic, maybe some hip hop, like just pop music in general. So
yeah,
I think in general, like that genre has kind of declined and it isn't as popular as it used to be. So
yeah, but that's also not really the genre everyone's going for at the moment, right?
Right.
Because she said she was listening to singer-songwriters and stuff, and she's going more that route.
Right.
So, and that is actually quite popular at the moment, right?
Yeah, right.
Those calm songs and stripped down stuff. So that would work in her favor if she releases music like that, I think.
Right. I mean, and also, I mean, does it really matter if to you guys if she's more popular, if she's recognized, or are you just fine with her making an album for the fans mostly?
I'm okay if she's making it for the fans, because I think the thing about Avril is that we're checking out Billboard, we're checking out iTunes when she's out with new music and see how she's doing, and we promote her. But I'm listening to Avril because of me. No one in my school class back in the day listened to Avril at all. So I've always been a fan of Avril and listening to her music because of her. And I don't care if anyone else is listening to her or buying her music. It's like, it's my own thing because some few around me have done the same. And therefore I don't care about the general public in this sense. But yeah, I don't know. Really, it's kind of without the general public buying her songs and the people in town and around buying it, there won't be a tour. So I guess you kind of also.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, that's always
right?
the thing.
There is the balance.
Or what about you, Marliz? Do you care at all?
Yeah, well, especially what Karen said. Like, I actually don't really care, but I do care because of
The tour.
touring and stuff. But on the other hand, I actually also like it when I listen to music that not everyone listens to, because then it gets really boring, you know?
Yeah.
So in that case...
I mean, that's kind of why I mentioned last week I wasn't really into Skater Boy, Complicated, and Girlfriend, really, because they were so overplayed, and like, everyone knew about them. Yeah,
exactly. So I like finding songs that not everyone listens to, you know?
I mean, wouldn't it be nice, though, if it changed her perception? Because like Karen said, a lot of people see her as like a nostalgia act. Like, wouldn't it be nice for people to like, oh, she's actually kind of relevant now, too? She wasn't just like someone
change.
from,
Yeah, she should, but it's not really helping with her posting all these nostalgic Instagram posts and stuff.
I just think her opening with Backstreet Boys and kind of signing with BMG, which seems to be like a nostalgia label mainly. So it's like, who knows? But yeah, it seems like she doesn't want to be that big anymore. But I don't know.
That's what's going to be interesting to see what strategy she and BMG and her management is going for when she starts to release and promoting. If she's going for it as a full pop star again, or if she's gonna just go on small venues, kind of small radio stations, and get whatever promo she can get. It's really not gonna get an answer to that before she starts again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, who knows about Asia? Like, she's pretty big there.
Yeah, so. She is. That's kind of funny, though. She's actually like the biggest, or one of the biggest Western artists there, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, it would be nice to get someone from Asia on the show. Sorry, I was just going to say, it would be nice to have someone from Asia come on the show and talk about her, just because it's so weird to me, just that there's such a big difference between the West and Japan and Asia for Avril fans, so I'm kind of curious about that. Here's our quick questions and comment section from the community. We didn't get too many for the last episode, so we encourage you to ask us questions. They're supposed to be kind of quick and fun questions and comments, nothing serious that you're curious about, just that we can answer quickly. So, Marliz, you had a couple for us today, right?
Well, I asked in the Discord chat if anyone had any questions, and luckily Sam, our savior, had got some questions. So the first one is, what's your favorite Avril photo shoot?
Goodbye Lullaby album shoot.
Yeah, and why?
Because it has that mystic and simplicity, and you kind of can make your own story to the images and kind of live yourself in to Wonderland.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, next. Do you like any Abby Dawn clothing?
Oh, back in the day, I so badly wanted the black dress she wore on the Teen Choice Awards or what it was. Yeah, I wanted that one, but mainly Abby Dawn hasn't been my dress code, to put it that way.
So you never owned any Abby Dawn either?
No, I had it on my wish list so many years, but I never got anything.
It's pretty expensive, right? From what I hear.
Yes, it
Well,
costs a
every
lot.
artist's clothing
But
line
it
is
costs.
expensive.
What's keeping me from buying it isn't exactly the price; it's the shipping.
Yeah.
The cost of the shipping, it's insane to Europe.
And, I mean, and Abington used to be more than just clothes, right? She had like perfume or something. Like, didn't she sell more?
That
things?
was a separate.
Oh, separate
That's
thing?
not Abidown, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
I do have an Abidown phone case, though, which I got from my order when I ordered Abidown.
Oh, so they got it for free.
But that's just a small little thing, I guess. There's one more question. What's your favorite Avril hairstyle? Because she had a lot.
Wait, who is that from?
From Sam. They're all from Sam.
Oh,
no one.
Okay.
No one
God
there.
bless Sam.
Sam.
All right.
Yeah. Favorite Avril hairstyle. Anytime she wears a ponytail or a braid. I'm not so fan of her loose hair.
No?
No,
My God,
I really
I
not
love
liked it. So when she has had the braids the last year she went touring in Asia, that was my favorite hair period.
Do you remember when she got like the black bangs or what are they called? Like this.
Yeah,
And
that
they
was
were
awkward.
fake though, but
That
was-
was bad and really
Yeah.
fake. I don't know what that was.
that was questionable, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's it for the questions. So next time, people, you should ask questions, which we don't know the guest for yet, but we're gonna announce them.
Yeah, that'll be in the thread. There are 3 potential guests. We're trying to figure that out, and that'll be posted in the thread by the time this episode gets released. So, but yeah, you can ask your questions in the show thread. You can PM us on the forum. You can comment on. You can comment in the YouTube video page. I was going to set up an email and a Twitter account, but I feel like those won't be used that much yet, so I'm kind of waiting a bit to announce those.
So we're growing big.
Yeah, until
So we have
big time.
thousands of followers.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, in the meantime, ask us questions there or comments too. We're still trying to figure out the whole like length thing. That's kind of in a debate. So this seems like it'll be pretty long. I haven't looked at the timer, so
Yeah, I think it's like an hour.
yeah.
Hour
So
and 20.
still trying to figure that one out. But yeah. So that's about it for the show. I mean, Marliz, where could people find you if they want to follow you on social media or whatever?
Find me. Well, I'll just post that in the thread because if I spell it out, it's kind of awkward. Or we can edit it in the video.
Sure.
I can do that.
All right.
I'll post it here.
All right. An easy way to contact her is through BA or Discord. Those are
Yeah.
some easy ways.
That's true.
So for Karen, before we get to that for you, you're actually holding an event, Signature of the Week, which you've been doing for years now, but we're doing a special 200th one in, 7 weeks?
Yeah, about 7 weeks. Around the first or second week of September, we will have our 200th episode, actually, no, 200 week of Signature of the Week, and with that occasion, I want to celebrate it with a special event like we did for number 100, and I have a CD to give away for the winner.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
So there's an Avril Lavigne CD, maybe it's on the Muskin, but it's up for grabs for whoever wants to try a chance to win SOTV 200.
So how does this work, and how do people enter if they want to participate?
Well, since 200 is a special event, each and every person will have 2 teams to make us a signature blend off. So everyone will have their 2 separate teams, so no one will have the same blend or same team to go after. So if you are Anthony, you will maybe get Avril Lavigne's photo shoots from 2008 and favorite song of 2016, and Alice can get Avril eating ice cream and best news article of the year. It's like completely random, and I don't know what the teams is going to be yet. So it's going to be a surprise for everyone.
All right, cool. And so how will people find you if they want to contact you in general?
Well, you can find me at BandAids, at In Wonderland, or you can find me at Twitter at xsmilefjes to make it difficult for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll add that in the video description.
Yeah, so you find me on BandAids on Twitter and on Instagram.
And Discord.
And Discord.
Same for me. Mainly Discord and BA for now. So yeah, that'll do it for episode 2. Do you guys have anything to add? Any closing thoughts?
I want to say to everyone, I'm a super shy person and this has been a little awkward for me, but join, be a guest and participate in the fun events at BandAids, even if it's a signature of the week or if it's the best damn show.
Agreed. And no, yeah, you did great. And
yeah, you did
proud
great.
of you for being on. We thank you. You're our first guest. So that's what Avril's going to become a viewer eventually, and she'll notice this. So
Yeah,
you'll be happy you did this.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So until next time, see you guys. 3rd episode.
Later.
Bye.